What Prince William found in Diana's letters changed everything. What hidden messages did Princess Diana leave behind? The truth that surfaced might just shake the foundations of the monarchy. How could a few handwritten letters hold the power to make Prince William rethink everything he's ever known? Stay tuned as we uncover the revelations that could redefine the legacy of Princess Diana and her relationship with her sons and the crown. Number 1. The discovery of Diana's letters. In recent years, personal letters written by Princess Diana have come to light, offering an intimate glimpse into her life and relationships. These handwritten notes, addressed to her family's former housekeeper, Violet Colley-Collison, were exchanged from the early 1980s through the 1990s. They show us a picture of Diana's personal experiences, including her engagement, the births of her sons, and even what she pictured for her sons. But why were these letters kept hidden for so long? You see, Collison, who served the Spencer family for many years, had kept these letters preserved away from the eyes of the public. And when she passed away, her family found the letters among her personal belongings. Once they realized who these were from, they recognized their historical significance and decided to share them with the world. So, in July 2024, the letters were auctioned by Sorder's Fine Art Auctioneers for over £73,000. The auction house described the collection as providing a unique insight into the private life of the princess. These letters are significant because they have sparked a renewed interest in Diana's life. They remind the public of her candidness and the deep personal connections she maintained with those who were close to her. Number 2. The context of the letters. It's no secret that Diana was under a lot of pressure to live a royal life. So how did she cope with it all? She journaled and wrote letters. As someone who faced constant public scrutiny, she found that writing gave her a private space to express her emotions. According to journalist Andrew Morton, in his biography, Diana, Her True Story, he wrote that journaling allowed her to put her thoughts and feelings on paper when she couldn't share them aloud. This practice of writing became an emotional outlet that helped her cope with the strains of her royal responsibilities. Moreover, she developed a habit of sending thank you letters. She was a really humble person, and her status didn't mean anything to her. If someone did something nice, they'd receive a note of gratitude from her. For example, Andrew claimed that after her royal wedding to Prince Charles in 1981, she sat down to answer many of the 47,000 letters of congratulation and 10,000 gifts which the wedding generated with the help of extra staff. It turns out, Diana understood the significance of a thank you card much more than others do. Her letters, many of which were addressed to her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, were also an important means of communication. She frequently wrote to them, sharing love, advice, and emotional support. These letters were seen as a way for Diana to stay connected to her children, especially as they grew older and their royal duties became more demanding. According to Andrew, after Prince William's 18th birthday, she wrote to him, expressing her pride and affection. These letters allowed Diana to express her love and provide guidance during key moments of their lives despite the limitations imposed by their royal roles. In addition to her sons, she exchanged letters with close friends and confidants. One of these close people was Dr. James Colthurst, whom she wrote to frequently. He was her connection to Andrew Morton, who was writing his biography. Plus, her letters weren't restricted to people of higher status. She wrote to her old maid and updated her regularly. Through her letters and journals, she created a private world where she could speak openly and away from the media's watchful eyes. Her writing was not just a means of coping, but also a way to preserve her thoughts and experiences for future generations. Number 3. Diana's reflections on the royal family. In her letters, Diana often talked about her observations on royal traditions and the expectations she had to fulfill. She was known to be rebellious and openly expressed her desire to stray away from the royal traditions. She found many of the protocols rigid and alienating, describing certain royal customs as outdated and emotionally detached. For instance, it is reported that she hated the family's annual tradition of celebrating Christmas at Sandringham and found them overly structured and cold. She felt like an outsider in that family. In her book The Royals, Kitty Kelly wrote, "The princess just hated going to Sandringham for Christmas." She added more context, saying, "She told me it was freezing cold and dinner had to be over by 3 o'clock. It's 3 and time to watch me on TV," she'd say, imitating you-know-who. The royal family had to watch the Queen's Christmas message on television. Diana felt frustrated with the institution's inability to adapt to the modern world. She felt that the monarchy placed too much emphasis on tradition at the expense of individuality and emotional well-being. This feeling was especially clear in her candid interviews, such as the famous 1995 BBC Panorama interview with Martin Bashir, where she openly discussed the immense pressure of living under the royal microscope. Number 4. Insights into Diana's relationship with Charles. Now, it's no secret that her marriage with Charles was troublesome, but that wasn't always the case. You see, letters from Diana's private collection indicate that she was optimistic about their future in the days following their wedding. In fact, she even wrote to her former housekeeper, claiming that her honeymoon was a tremendous success. But as time would have it, she would soon figure out that this marriage was just a facade. She realized that her husband didn't really love her to begin with, and not only that, he was into someone else. In 1995, she talked about the affair, saying, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." She felt betrayed and often broke down in front of her dance teacher, Anne Allen, expressing her desperation to make Charles happy and her frustration over his affair with Camilla. She noted that Diana felt unwanted and struggled with the knowledge of her husband's infidelity. This rocky marriage influenced her approach to raising William and Harry. She didn't want their life to be troubled like hers. She was determined to provide them with a sense of normalcy and emotional security, often involving them in her charitable activities to teach them about different aspects of life. Number 5. Diana's fears for her sons. Speaking of her sons, Diana truly cared about both of them in every way. She was really worried about the impact of media frenzy and royal duties on her sons. She feared that the relentless scrutiny could harm their well-being, especially considering that her divorce was the talk of the town, and sought ways to protect them. While she understood the necessity of public engagement, she was aware of the invasive nature of the press. She had her fair share of bad media experiences as well. The worst of them all was an interview in 1995, where Martin Bashir used forged documents to secure an interview with her, an interview that would shock everyone and put her into a lot of stress and feelings of isolation. Even Harry attributed his mother's death to a culture of media exploitation. He emphasized that unethical press practices played a crucial role in the tragic events leading to her passing. To save them from such tragedies, Diana was determined to keep her children's feet on the ground. She insisted that her sons attend school and not be educated solely within the palace. Years later, her former press secretary, Patrick Jepson, said she made sure that they experienced things like going to the cinema, queuing up to buy a McDonald's, going to amusement parks, those sorts of things that were experiences that they could share with their friends. Number 6. Her aspirations for William as a future king. Diana knew that she would never be the queen herself, nor did she envision Charles as a king. Instead, she believed that her son, William, would be the right fit to ascend to the throne after Queen Elizabeth. She had a vision for a monarchy that was both modern and empathetic, led by her son. Her influence on the royal family was huge, as she introduced a more personal and relatable approach to royal duties. Thanks to her compassion and efforts to connect with people from all walks of life, she became the people's princess. Today, it seems that William possesses these abilities as well. Kinsey Schofield, host of the Today for Daily podcast, told a news outlet, "Diana had a unique ability to connect with people from all walks of life, and William has carried this forward by being approachable and relatable." Diana also hinted that she believed in William's potential to harmonize royal traditions with contemporary values, fostering a more approachable and compassionate institution. She always wanted the monarchy to connect with its public, so there was stronger support from them as well. Through her actions and words, she laid the groundwork for a monarchy that balances tradition with progress. Number 7. Emotional messages to her sons. If you read her letters, you'll see how much she loved her boys. She talked about them all the time and wanted them to have normal and happy lives. In 2020, her former butler, Paul Burrell, shared a photo of a letter he once received from her. In the letter, she writes about her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, and details her hopes for their future. In the letter, she said, "I love my boys to death and hope that the seeds I've planted will grow and bring the strength, knowledge, and stability that is needed." At a different time, she said, "I want my boys to have an understanding understanding of people's emotions, their insecurities, people's distress, and their hopes and dreams. Her personal letters and public statements continue to display her deep connection with William and Harry. Today, the affectionate memories and values she imparted have been guiding principles for both princes, reflecting the lasting impact of her love and guidance. Number 8. William's emotional response. Looking at William today, it's safe to say that Diana would be proud of him. While talking to a news outlet, British broadcaster and photographer Helena Chard said, "Prince William will always honor and respect his mother. She was a great role model for him, teaching him to love and help people and use his platform to create change for good. She has been the biggest influence in his life forever, and you can see it in his words." William has expressed many times that he thinks about what people want his role to be and what they want from him. According to a source, he said, "I've been thinking about that a lot recently, and taking guidance and inspiration from my mother now, more than ever before." Moreover, when you compare the two personalities, you will find quite a few similarities. She was known for her hands-on approach to charity, which William also takes. He focuses on mental health advocacy, homelessness, and environmental conservation. She could connect with people, and William has carried her legacy by being more approachable and relatable. Reflecting on his role within the royal family, Prince William has shown a commitment to modernizing the monarchy while honoring its traditions. He has expressed a desire to focus on service and support, saying, "Catherine and I are committed to service. For us, that's not telling people what to do. It is about serving and supporting them in whatever way they think best by using the platform we are lucky to have." Number 9. Reevaluating royal responsibilities. William's decision to rethink his approach to public service and his role as heir has sparked considerable attention. As the future king, he is reconsidering how best to balance his royal duties with his values. This comes after a period of reflection on the expectations placed on him, the legacy he wants to create, and his mother's wishes. When you compare the path he took versus his younger brother, you notice the different responses to their shared upbringing and their late mother's influence. William has largely embraced the traditional royal duties, while Harry has chosen a more independent route, something that she wished for as well. Their differing views on Diana's wishes and how they should fulfill her legacy seem to shape their current trajectories, which are taking them in separate directions. While she would have loved to have her boys maintain the strong bond they once had, the important thing is that both of them have found peace in the paths they have chosen. Number 10. Public versus private personas of Diana. These letters have revealed a side of Diana that most people never knew, one that was more personal and vulnerable. They show the depth of her emotions and provide insights into her struggles and concerns, which were hidden from the public eye while she was still alive. As a royal, she had to put on a brave face most of the time. This created a big difference between her public persona and her private life. Her public persona was carefully crafted, often portraying her as the fairy tale princess who had it all. But the reality was quite grim. She once expressed in a letter that she's not a happy person inside. While she was loved for her charitable work and glamorous image, inside the palace walls, she faced personal challenges that deeply affected her. These revelations revealed a Diana who was deeply human despite her royal status. She often struggled with loneliness and a sense of being misunderstood. Number 11. The letter's relevance today. Despite being decades old, these letters are still relevant today. They have continued to influence how the monarchy is perceived today, especially in the context of its public image and the evolving dynamics of the royal family. Diana was the bridge between the royals and the public, and somehow she found a way to uphold this bridge even from beyond the grave. Her letters were the biggest proof of how the royals are humans as well, people you can relate to as well. William has been actively working to maintain her legacy by modernizing the royal family. He has expressed a desire to make the monarchy more relatable and relevant to younger generations. In a recent interview, Prince William stated his intention to carry out his duties with a smaller R in the royal, emphasizing a more approachable and contemporary approach to royal responsibilities. Moreover, reports suggest that he is working to reduce unnecessary royal expenditures and focus on sustainability, reflecting a shift towards a more modern and responsible monarchy. Number 12. The letters and William's parenting style. These letters and Diana's upbringing of her sons have heavily influenced William and Kate's approach to raising their children. Diana made it a point to give her two sons as despite their royal roles. Today, you can see how their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, dress up in both formal and casual settings. One day, you'll see them in royal colors on the Buckingham Palace balcony, and next time, you'll find them snacking from the trunk of the car while their dad plays polo. Plus, William has also decided to teach all three of them their grandmother's teachings. Diana prioritized spending lots of time with her boys, even bringing a nearly one-year-old William on tour, a first for a royal baby. William is also integrating this into his parenting as well. He has taken his children with him on official engagements. For instance, they took a royal family tour of Africa, during which they were all present as a family. Number 13. Preserving Diana's legacy. Now, these letters are a testament to Diana's enduring impact on her family and around the world. These pieces of paper have significantly influenced public perceptions of the British royal family, humanizing its members and highlighting the complexities of their personal lives. Moreover, it has reignited William's passion for maintaining his mother's legacy. He has made a clear commitment to carrying forward her values and has been vocal about his desire to bring attention to causes that she cared about. For example, his visit to a homeless shelter was described as an eye-opener, much like the visits he made with his mother during his childhood. William's actions reflect his continuing dedication to his mother's legacy. He pushed for changes in the royal family and the world at large, as she had envisioned. These letters show Diana's unwavering love for her sons and her desire to see them shape a kinder, more compassionate monarchy. Her words continue to guide Prince William as he prepares to become king. What do you think of the revelations in Diana's letters? Share your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for more untold royal stories.